sorry that I am not here again. Just know that you should follow along and take notes on the handout that was given to you. And if you need more time to write things down, because you probably will, you need to politely ask the substitute to pause the video and then let them know when you're ready to move on. All right, so translating into algebraic expressions is what we're talking about today. So you guys already went through and kind of sorted vocabulary words to what could kind of mean adding or subtracting or multiplying or dividing, whatever the case might be. So now we're going to look at how to use that a little more explicitly. So we're going to look at a problem about age. So you see the first example on your handout. And it says, Miss Lasner is 6 years more than twice as old as Alex. Now, this is a verbal expression. And what we want to do is change this into algebraic. So use variables and operations. So we're going to let Alex's age be A. So every time we want to talk about Alex's age, we're going to use the letter A. And notice it says twice as old as Alex. So it has here the word twice. And if you have to look back on your note sheet from the previous day, twice means 2 times the amount. So we would multiply Alex's age by 2. So Miss Lasner's age is going to be twice as old as Alex. Okay, but that wasn't the whole thing. It said it's 6 years more than twice as old as Alex. So we have to take and add 6 to twice Alex's age, so that the expression that represents Miss Lasner's age is twice Alex's age plus 6. Okay. Sorry, guys. So make sure you get that on your paper. Again, have the sub pause it if you need time. The next example says Parker has 2 less than half the number of pieces that Tristan had. Okay. So again, let's talk about what we want to use. So Tristan had a certain number of pieces, and we're going to call them P. And then because it says half the number of pieces that Tristan had, that means we're going to multiply by a half or divide by 2, which is going to look like half of P or P over 2. So Parker is going to have half as many pieces as Tristan, so half P. But it didn't just say Parker has half P. It said Parker has 2 less than half the number of pieces, which is P. So we want to subtract 2 from that half calculation, which gives us our final answer that Parker is going to have half the amount of pieces that Tristan had, so that 1/2 P, and then the minus 2 at the end to show the 2 less than that. Like if you had $2 less than Miss Dahl, I would take my amount of money and I would subtract 2 from it, and that's how I would get your amount of money. Okay. So let's look at some more examples. So you're going to try this. So write an expression to represent Savannah's number of text messages in this problem. So it says Savannah received 7 fewer text messages than Amanda. So you're already writing for Savannah, so you don't have to represent Savannah, but you need to figure out how do you write mathematically 7 fewer text messages than Amanda. Okay? So have a substitute please pause the video, take a couple minutes to come up with what you think, and then we'll check it. All right, so checking this, I'm going to call Amanda's age A. Now, if you didn't use that, or Amanda's text messages, you could use a different variable. So Savannah's going to have A minus 7. The minus 7 comes from 7 fewer text messages than Amanda. And this time it was just one thing. It just said 7 fewer. There was nothing else, so that's enough. So basically what's happening, we want to write the sum of twice a number and 8. Okay? We're going to call n for the number. Sum means to add, so you're trying to add twice a number plus 8. Twice means 2 times. So our final answer is going to be 2n, because that's twice the number, or 2 times the number, being added to 8, because it said the sum of twice a number and 8. The quotient of a number and 6. So again, we're going to let the number be n. The quotient means to divide the number by 6. So since it's just one operation, we have the number being divided by 6, and that's it. So why don't you guys try this one, the product of a number and 14. So have the substitute pause the video, take a couple minutes to write it down, and then we'll check the answer. All right, so to check the answer, again, I'm going to call my number n. And the answer is 14n. Now, the reason the answer is 14n, remember, a number and a variable written next to each other means there's multiplication between them. So this is really 14 times n. And the reason 14 times n is the answer to this problem is because product was a word that meant times. So we really wanted to multiply or times together our number and 14, and 14n means that. So go ahead and try another. 8 less than 3 times a number. So again, have the sub pause it, try it, and then we'll go through the answer. So our number will be n. Now there's 2 things happening here. Okay, there's 3 times the number, and there's 8 less than that. So the 3n part of it is the 3 times the number, but I had to subtract 8 at the end because it didn't say my number is just 3 times another number. It said my number is 8 less than 3 times another number. So I'd have to take the other number, multiply it by 3, and then I'd have to subtract 8 at the end. All right, now we're going to try to go the other way. So what we want to do is we want to translate this into English. So if somebody had written 2p minus 5 on a paper, what is a possible thing that could mean? So I want you guys to take a minute, okay, figure out some, okay, share some with each other. So pause, have the sub pause the video, and then I'll go through what they could be. All right, so one possibility for this is to say 5 Sorry, guys. Okay, one possibility here is to say 5 less than, because I subtracted 5 at the end, and then 2 times something or twice a number, or you could have used a person's age or something like that, but you should have something in your section that multiplies it by 2 and something that subtracts 5. Let's try again. So the last one we're going to try is to also translate this. So have the sub pause the video, take a minute to come up with an answer, and then we'll go ahead and check. All right, to check for this, we could say the product of 1/3 and a number. We could say 1/3 of a number, because we know that just of means multiplying 2. Or if we looked at it as division, we could say the quotient of a number and 3. Or we could say a number divided by 3, but something with that division in there. Now your goal is to finish the back side of the page that is homework. If you finish during class, you need to show the sub that it's completed before you can put away your materials.